One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. It's springtime, and it's time to freshen up that wardrobe that you've had hanging in that dingy old closet all year.
How do you know it's dingy?
Because most closets are dingy. Ain't nobody in the closet doing dusting or vacuuming inside the closet.
My closet's immaculate.
Okay, anyway, you should go to shoptourbus.com and check out what they got.
What they got?
The coolest Grateful Dead inspired merch on the online lot or the regular lot anywhere. You're not going to find cooler stuff. I promise you that.
They make hand-screened apparel and merch inspired by the band beyond description. And it's all uniquely packaged and shipped with love from Bridgeport, Connecticut. What more could you want?
They're putting together the Dark Star pre-orders right now, and they're being packed with exclusive 5-inch holographic vinyl slabs, bootlegs, pencils, sweet treats, and some magic diamond disco rings. I mean, what's cooler than that? Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. You'll see what we're talking about. And when you finally purchase something from them and you're checking out, put in the promo code No Simple Road.
No Simple Road, all one word.
And you are going to get free shipping from their family to our family to you, from us and them, all of us together doing something cool. Shoptourbus.com.
Act quickly.
So next weekend on Friday, we're going to be going to see Fish up at Climate Pledge Arena. And I've never been to Climate Pledge before. And there's lots of things that I want to know about Climate Pledge, but I don't want to ask like some dusty ass wook day of the show out in Pike's Place Market.
First thing I know about Climate Pledge Arena is that they've got a dope coffee shop right next to it.
Well,
KXEP,
if
right
you
there.
knew that, you could go to venuelama.com and you could put that into the Llama base. So this is called venuelama.com. It's an online resource that provides live music fans the insider venue info they need. It's a place where fans can quickly rate venues and share various tips and intel about those venues. Like, I don't know, help me out.
How the security is something I always think about.
That's a biggie.
Where's the closest bathroom?
What's the bathroom sitch like?
Yeah.
What's the parking situation like?
That's another big one. That's the I don't want to ask the Dusty Wook in Pike's Place Market about the parking. They're gonna be like, I don't know, man.
I don't got a car,
$5.
man.
Exactly. Can I borrow yours? Head over to venuelama.com. That's VENUELLAMA.com to sign up for your free Llama account and start rating and sharing your insider venue info today. Llamas can also list their favorite scene-friendly businesses, websites, or podcasts on the VL Friends page. Venue Llama is currently compiling its Llama base with as much helpful information as possible on venues for the following upcoming tours: Dead & Company, Fish, Widespread Panic, Billy Strings, and Goose. Head over, check out the exclusive beta version of Venue Llama today at venuelama.com/NSR. That's VENUELLAMA.com/NSR.
I'm a llama.
No, you're not. we're sitting here looking at the specials for Fire on the Mountain, like talking about how awesome all this shit looks, and I'm like, why are we recording this, man? You guys should go over to Fire on the Mountain if you live in Denver or Portland. I'm just saying, now's the time. They just dropped all their specials for this month, and holy shit, man. Just hip them up, Apple.
Yeah, well, at the Fremont location, grilled skirt steak with balsamic reduction and all kinds of other stuff going on. Honey crisp apple fritters with a sugar glaze.
No. Take me to the deep fried thing.
They got a bitchin' salad at Interstate. So many things, you got to look this up. But then here, there is the fried samosa Girl Scout cookies topped with powdered sugar.
Mel?
My favorite Girl Scout cookie. And then you do that deliciousness to it.
Apple said, I'm going to drive over to Jordan's house and punch him in the mouth.
I said punch him. I didn't say the mouth. Oh,
man. That's
rude.
If you weren't hungry before we started talking, you are now. Go check out Fire on the Mountain if you're here in Portland. 3 locations, 2 in Denver. And hey, if you're not over here in one of these places, don't be sad. Go to portlandwings.com. Order yourself some of the sauces. Get yourself
dope merch.
One of their hats, man. I want one of those.
Their socks are dope too.
Yeah, that's true.
I really like the socks. You like the trucker hat, and then they have those dope cups too. They've got the new silly pint.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because they're silicone pints.
Yeah, silly pint, just in time for spring.
You could drop it on the floor and then it won't break.
Yeah,
those are great camping ones.
And then if you're still hungry after all that, then you can go over to the Burnside location and get a Reuben burger.
Okay,
damn.
So you feel what you picking up what we're putting down? I think you are. Go check out Fire on the Mountain. It is the Grateful Dead family hooking it up and cooking it up.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Existence.
You didn't exist 30 years ago.
I didn't.
That's crazy
Still
to
2
think
years out.
sometimes.
It's crazy.
That is crazy 2 years out.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Year and
now,
a half.
No Simple Road family, we're back. It's Aaron.
And it's Mel.
And it's Apple.
And it's Ryder.
Our special return
Risers in the
co-host
house.
guest.
Hey,
What about me? Darwin's in the
And
house.
Darwin.
Darwin's here.
Oh, and
Yeah, he did look back. He gave me the look
He
back.
gave you the whale eye.
He's giving the shade.
We are back with another
Installment.
edition of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind.
Weekly Rewind.
Done in collaboration with the Edible Beats
The
out
Edible
of Denver,
Beats.
Colorado. They are changing the way that you relate to your food by creating dining experiences that are unparalleled in the world of eating food and being together and taking care of people that work for you and making food that tastes better than you possibly could have ever thought food could have tasted. And if you don't know what the Edible Beats is, you should go check it out. Go on the Google machine and look it up.
There's
Google it.
lots of information to look up on them.
All kinds of restaurants in the Denver area for you to go peruse. And they also put out a zine that's pretty dope. It's a cookbook, and yeah, go check it out.
People don't put out zines enough anymore.
I know, and
So
theirs is really cool.
Check this out. We're renegades of flavors and masters of remix, known for our responsibly grown and sourced, innovatively simple, veggie-forward fare. Boom.
Padow.
Bam.
And that's who we decided. Well, we didn't just decide it, but
We did
that's who
decide
we
that.
collaborate with
Yeah.
weekly on the Weekly Rewind to make something that is more than the sum of its parts. Just, you could just have No Simple Road, or you could just have the Edible Beats, but you could have the No Simple Edible Beat Road that is
Damn.
the Weekly Rewind.
I like that. The
That's a
beat
good-
road.
Wow, I'm
It's a good
tired
road.
now.
That sounds
Yeah,
exhausting.
That's all you'll hear from Aaron. He's worn himself
Have a
out
good
in the
day,
first
everybody. I'm
5
gonna go take a
minutes.
nap. Okay, here's the thing. Ryder
Hello.
is here.
There he
here.
is. I can
I'm
see him.
here.
It's been a minute.
I'm usually here. I'm just upstairs.
Right. Well,
That is true.
we've had
Most of the time.
several listeners reach out over the past, I don't know.
It's been about 2 years.
It's happened more recently, actually, for whatever reason.
Well, people starting at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like that most
that's
recent
true.
one. It's like I'm on like episode 30 something. You guys, all of you guys, Ryder, are all great. And yeah, he doesn't realize Ryder's not great anymore.
Yeah.
Ryder's
No.
not great anymore.
No. Sorry, guys.
So we've missed you.
Yeah, man.
I've missed it here.
We, yeah. Anyway, what I was saying, we had a lot of people reach out and ask where you were. And
And then Ryder the other day was like randomly, you're the one. You were like, I want to go.
I was like, I should jump on
Do a check-in.
before you guys pop off for the summer.
disappear
Yeah.
for April.
It's about to get
Ryder
wild.
goes into dog sitting mode
Yep.
and house sitting mode and having the place to
Which we
himself.
always appreciate, Ryder. Thank you so much for
Yeah, man.
You're
that.
welcome.
I
The perpetual big brother / uncle.
secretly feel not low key, not secretly feel guilty every time we leave when you have to watch.
I feel
Darwin.
great about it.
Don't. It's like the alternative is what, paying someone or having a stranger stay at the house?
Yeah.
Ew,
Well,
Or could you imagine
but
if
it's
you had
never.
I'm gonna go party later, and you watch the dog, dude.
Also, I get the whole house to myself, and I can't explain to you how nice that is. I can't.
It is
It's
it is
so
nice when you have the house.
You don't
yourself
have to explain,
and-
Ryder. We've all experienced it in short bursts, and it's freaking amazing when you get to have this entire place. You do whatever the hell you want.
Usually, I'll
And-
call off a day because you guys usually go on the days I'm working. So I just like call off and have
Take
the
an
whole day to
extra day.
myself.
Oh,
that's
that's
fun.
rad.
So nice.
And it is. I mean, we all live together very well and get along very well, but it is
Shut up,
nice
Apple.
to like
Yeah.
not have people underfoot, especially Aaron.
Yeah. I'm all over the place.
Aaron doesn't go away enough on his own. Oh,
You never.
He's always around.
You've never gone away on your own.
Nope. What am I gonna do?
Go visit Simon or Sid or your mom.
Go to the
All the
coast.
things that I've done.
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
know.
like
I don't want to go by myself. You go do that.
He's not a
I
solo.
have.
I'm not a solo guy.
He's
I
not a
have done
solo
that.
adventurer.
No, I'm not. I'm not into that.
He doesn't do Home Alone well.
I don't. I was gonna say
Everybody loves it
you
except
guys
for
love
me.
being home alone. You guys, I look forward to it, and then 10 minutes after everybody's gone, I'm like, this sucks.
10 minutes.
Fuck. Come on,
Sitting here
Darwin.
whining,
Me and Darwin are
They're
just sitting
both-
by the window upstairs,
just
looking
staring
out
at the end of the
They're
driveway.
both staring in the standing.
I kind of get bummed out because I feel like shit. I fucking still have more stuff to do, and everybody's coming back. Like I'm in a bath. I'm outside in the freaking doing stuff in the yard. I'm collaging. I'm like it's
all
fun.
shit you do when we're here.
Yeah, but it's free because I can do.
Yep.
It's different. You could. I put on the kitchen music to like whatever I want. So like, there's just like
Again.
there's multiple like areas that I go to.
There
But
is
it's
a freedom
yeah,
to. I mean, it's not like any of us are gonna be like, "Don't fucking turn that on in the kitchen." I mean, we kind of do what we want, but there is a freedom to have
There's
the
no
place
asking.
to yourself.
Yeah.
True. Okay. So, but here's the thing. When Mel told me that you had said that to her, what'd I say to you?
I just was thinking that Ryder needs to come on.
That morning.
That's so weird.
That morning, I was
Good
like,
impression.
I wonder if Ryder would be into coming on. Do I sound like that? I wonder if Ryder. You're doing it right now.
I love it when Mel does impressions. I didn't get my smoothie.
Damn.
She does. She busses on
Ryder,
you, man.
Thanks for joining us. Fuck off now.
I come in and everyone starts lighting Aaron up.
It's the
Wow.
That's not how this was supposed to go.
No,
but,
this has turned into a conductor roast.
Yeah, great. Enjoy
come
this,
on, nephew.
Mel.
Let's talk some shit about your uncle.
I don't want
We
know,
love you, baby.
Rather than explain to all the listeners
Out there.
in email replies and DM replies and why Ryder doesn't hang out on No Simple Road as much anymore, I figured it would be better just to do this.
There's also an open door policy. Ryder can literally come on whenever he wants. And he knows it.
I'm not for everyone out there. I haven't been exiled.
You did not get kicked off the island.
No,
No, you didn't quit. There's
you know
no
what?
firing.
There's only room for 3 hosts. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you
can
picked a short
imagine?
straw.
We only got 3 of these chairs from Ben and Tiff.
No, and there wouldn't
we
be
would have
enough
had to fire you
room.
at that
I would
point.
have had to be sitting in like a lawn chair or something.
No, we
That's
would have just fired
ridiculous.
you.
That's fair.
Oh,
But in all seriousness, all joking aside,
yes. Okay.
Ryder was an integral part in the start of No Simple Road. We wouldn't have done many of the heartfelt first few episodes that we did had it not been for Ryder. And Ryder was going to all the shows with us and part of the show and doing the thing. And then at one point, as far as the listeners were concerned, one of the voices just disappeared, and we never
Really,
we
Like
never
fully
even, we never
addressed it.
addressed it. We just kind of like
There was a baby address.
we did.
There was a baby.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was.
we
Thank
talked
you,
about
Ryder.
how
There
it
was.
wasn't quite your
Yeah.
scene. You were,
Yeah.
you were enjoying it somewhat, but and it morphed from the beginning when
'Cause you came
Ryder
on
was
a
with
while
us
ago.
into being way more music interviews and stuff that he wasn't as into.
oh, cool. Thanks for taking care of all that for us, Apple. All right, Ryder, you can
On
go
to the
now.
next
Yeah,
one.
you're done. You're done.
Well, I do recall a time when Ryder came on and did a little mini thing also and kind of spoke to that.
And I think when we were doing the like news,
Yeah, the talking
Heads
heads,
talking.
Yeah.
heads talking,
I was
like
gonna say talking
I think that
heads.
might have been my last episode, and we did kind of have like a little bit of a like, hey, this is not super my thing anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
I recall that, Ryder. I do remember it.
Right on. I'm glad
I think
everybody
that
else remembers.
I think that was actually the last time I was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
Okay, but so since then,
Since then,
what's been going on, Ryder?
well, I think not even since then, like before then, I mean, I had a wonderful time going to all the shows. It was like super heartfelt and was super good. But I also did this thing back then where I didn't know what I wanted to do in any situation at all.
So you just
Ever.
like go along with whatever anybody said.
Yeah, well, and just to make other people happy, I was like, oh, they'll like this, so I'll do it. And I did that for 22 years.
Yeah.
And
We call that people pleasing.
yeah, and I burnt out in a pretty major way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I realized it at some show. I was little loaded, and even though I was loaded, I was like not having a good time. And it was like, oh, what the fuck's going on? And I realized like I don't actually super enjoy this.
Yeah.
So I took the break. I like stepped away from the show, and I spent the next. I mean, that was like right before COVID hit too.
Oh, so what? 2018 or 19?
2020. It
Oh,
was
it was
like
on
the beginning
2020.
of 2020, I think.
Okay.
End of 19.
Sorry, everybody.
20.
I just realized I was clicking this mint I have. I'm going to take it out right now.
I was just going to say.
Sorry, guys.
Wasn't
Sorry,
me,
Audrey.
Wasn't me. I was just gonna say it wasn't me,
No,
Audrey.
it was all me, and I just realized it, and I'm sorry.
And then I spent the next I was spending the previous couple of years, but I spent the next 2 years just really focusing on myself and what I wanted and what I didn't want. I also realized I didn't have I was not able to put up any boundaries in a healthy way or any way. Anytime I talked to anybody and it got a little bit deep, I would just
Freeze.
I'd word vomit every piece of trauma that could come to mind. It wasn't great.
Are you talking about your friends or outside of there, or just
literally
everything?
any
Okay.
human being? I'd go to work and someone would say something and the conversation would get the marginalist bit deep and I would just go off to random strangers.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm just trying to get context.
Nice.
No, yeah. So yeah, I've spent the last couple years working on myself mentally and physically. I would say I was actually talking about this with Allie. The last time I went back to Vegas.
Allie's my little sister, everybody.
And my aunt. I kind of went the opposite direction. I've put up a lot more boundaries than I think might be healthy, but I'm also okay with it for the moment to try and figure out what that looks like what a boundary looks like.
Yeah.
And how it feels and what boundaries I don't like and what boundaries need to stay and what boundaries go with what people and all that stuff. So that's been a hell of a thing over the last couple of years.
Go ahead, Apple.
Well, I was just gonna see you bring up the working on yourself mentally and physically. We can't see inside your head, but we have seen. Ryder has made a fantastic physical transformation on a regimen of eating healthy, working out, lost a ton of weight, got taller, thinner.
It started with Magnus.
It actually started.
It started before that, but I just mean there was some real effort being made at that point.
But I think that what we're seeing is the fruit of the tree that was planted in the ritual that we did.
Magnus started before that. We were meeting with Magnus before the ritual.
Right.
Which ritual? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
But I think it was definitely the combination of the two, starting to be able to control myself physically, with eating and stuff, really set a really good foundation for the ritual. And without either one of them, I absolutely would not be as in good of a place as I am today.
Yeah.
Wow. So both of those things you feel was
100%. It was a 1-2. It was within 3 months.
Well, because some people they're I don't know when, but you have a
100%
literal times where it was this and this helped that.
And not for nothing, I would say it even started with stepping away from the show. That was the first boundary I put up was this is
doing this for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Our family's not traditionally not really great at boundaries setting.
Or communicating or
emotion,
or really
dealing with feelings,
also
sharing feelings.
Also, you were growing up too. That's just also normal. Your 20s, in your 20s, you're whoever your parents were. You're stepping away from that. Whatever your life was, you made your own life, and whether it was a show or a relationship that you were going to have to put a boundary up, you were going to have to do that to something, you know?
It's for sure. That is part of growing up healthy.
Yeah.
Because
the alternative was to just continue to burn myself out on everything that everyone else around me wanted. And even not even expectations, just what I thought they wanted. It wasn't
it was
this person. Yeah, this person wants this from me, so I need to do it. It was I think this person would like this or would like me to be like this. So let me change my whole
Oh,
shit.
going on.
So it wasn't even real, like a lot of
No.
it. This is all stuff that's, you know,
I mean, yeah, it was 100% a busted ass brain.
just even knowing that.
So
though,
then
that's
when
huge.
you start putting up those boundaries, you're left with the husk of yourself.
Yeah,
And you have to like figure out who you are inside of the boundary now. Like,
yeah.
now what do I like? What do I want to do?
I still not 100% sure. I was talking about again with Grammy the last time I went to Vegas. She was like, "We really need to get you in those psychology classes," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She was like, "Psychology classes to like teach," because we were talking about like kids or something. And I just brought up the idea of maybe talking to your children. She was shocked. I hope you're not listening to this, Grammy.
She don't listen.
I know she don't
listen.
listen. And she was like, "You really need to be a child psychologist." And I was like, "I forgot I wanted to do that." And I realized I only wanted to do that because I was really fucked up. And now
you
that
wanted somebody to talk to.
I wanted somebody to talk to.
I'll become a person that people talk to.
I wanted someone to talk to me as a kid.
Yes.
That's what I really
Wow.
wanted.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll be a child psychologist. And then now that I'm in a much healthier place mentally, I don't actually want to do that.
Understandable.
Look at that.
I didn't even realize it either.
So
I was like,
check this out, dude.
actually, that sucks.
You know, a lot of people don't have the gift of finding out what you found out. And that's how they decide whatever career they go into. And they find that shit out when they're like 50.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck.
$60,000 in debt
I only
from their
did this because I wanted somebody to talk to, and I don't really like kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But now I've done all the work and spent all the money.
Yeah, I've
So I
sunk
guess I'm
I've
doing
sunk
this.
most of my life into this. So what the fuck do I do now? Yeah, 100%.
That's a huge realization, Ryder.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
a freaking gift.
Well, it's a trip too, like moving here. I forget all the time. Simon too. I'd put him in the same boat. I forget how young Simon is and how young Ryder is. When we moved here, a lot of times I look at Ryder as like my age, if that makes sense.
No,
like,
I
the way
know
we
what you mean,
talk.
like a peer.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I realize it's like, oh shit, like we were joking at the beginning of this. It's like 30 years ago you didn't even exist, and
Nope.
it's a trip because you were 22 when we moved. 21.
I was 21.
You're 21 when we moved here.
I was not even 21 for 6 months.
Yeah.
No, yes, I was.
Which that's a trip too, because that's what age Simon's going to be.
Well, we moved in the
Simon's gonna be
summer, so-
21 in
right.
August.
Anyway.
Anyway, what?
We don't need to figure out Ryder's birthday. I mean,
My
part of
birthday
the
is September
conversation.
No, I'm
6th.
just talking about how young those
1994.
two were when we moved here
Yeah.
and seeing them grow
Yeah.
and become. I mean, you don't want to talk about how healthy your son and Ryder are.
no, I don't.
We've had enough of
Moving
that.
on.
Well, I just
So
want to
do you
say,
even rap?
yeah.
I
do you even
don't.
rap, bro?
No.
Okay, what kind of pizza do you like?
Deep dish.
Right on, Ryder.
Mm.
Good answer.
Yeah, it's the best pizza.
It is a trip to see the two of them, and I because he's my nephew, I'd never make the mistake that seeing him as a peer. I remember him when he was
At our wedding.
an infant. You know what I mean? But it doesn't always occur to me that he's in the stage of life that he's in,
Yeah,
and that like if you're, there's no right and wrong in life, but if you're lucky, you're figuring out the shit that he's figuring out now.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's kind of what your 20s are for. I would
Absolutely.
think, right?
Well, in a healthy environment where you're not like fight or flight mode or just on survival skills, you know what I mean? Like in a place where you can actually spread your wings, that's where you do realize like, oh, I don't fucking like going to concerts. Oh, I do love running. Oh, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
don't.
no, you don't.
That's me.
That wasn't
That's
applied
him.
to you. Yeah, exactly. I was mixing the two, but in a place where you're able to, where there's not like abuse or crazy circumstances or like
Or just you're like you said in survival mode. You're stuck working 3 jobs and
Yes.
have 2 kids or whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, I'm blessed.
So what have you found out? Like
That's a
not
great-
everything, you know
that's
what
a
I mean?
great
But
Yeah,
like
give us
what are
questions.
some
Yeah.
no, what are some of the
Break it
things
all
that you
down.
found out from like pulling back and like doing things differently than you did 22 years or however long?
I don't know. Like I'm definitely still like literally the last 2 years of my life has been mostly figuring out how to have boundaries. I like you said that like husk thing that you're talking about. Only like extremely recently started to feel that. Like the last,
I'll say one thing that you learned. One thing that you learned is your style.
That's true.
That's a huge thing.
That was a very conscious decision. Like that everyone, like when COVID hit, I still had to go to work, but everyone was talking about like COVID skills, and there was like a huge pressure to like come out of the other end with something productive. Yeah. And like I tried music, I tried sign language, like nothing was sticking. And I felt really shitty because I was still like working my ass off, and like, but I still was like nothing stuck. And I was watching people online, and they're like, people are like, you know, learning how to make bread. And everyone's got some fucking skill, and nothing was sticking. And yeah, I was like, I wear baggy fucking clothes all the time. I just have like jeans and band tees, and that's it. And some ad for Stitch Fix came on, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to give it a try. And I love dressing nice. Well,
I mentioned that because it changed your whole persona.
Yeah.
It changed your entire countenance.
I had no self-esteem. No, still working on self-esteem issues, but at the time I had zero self-esteem. So it's been that, eating better, like I've spent a lot of time working on myself physically the last couple of years. Like before I left, I spent, since we moved up here until I stepped away, working on myself like spiritually, I would say.
Yeah.
With enough, like not an insignificant amount of time spent trying to figure myself out mentally, but mostly it was spiritually. And now I'm working on myself physically and trying to find out who the fucking person is that is inside the walls that I've learned to put up. It's been a wild couple of years, and it hasn't felt like it. Like, I don't know.
I'll tell you something I haven't told you because it's never come up, but like, it's a trip you're my nephew, and in a lot of ways I feel like you're my kid too. And to be living with you in the same house and see you going through the changes that you're going through, like, I know that I need to like give you your fucking space, not involve myself in your shit.
Thank you very much.
And it's hard sometimes. It's fucking hard, dude. Like, to just like shut the fuck up. So it's been a trip to watch because I'm not quiet.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're an opinionated person.
Yeah. And I've like made it a point to not say shit.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because you got to do your thing. And
well, and you're a man.
Yeah.
You deserve the same as Apple or Aaron to grow up and live the way you want to live. Yeah. Like, interference, unless it's absolutely necessary, is not fair.
I don't mean interfering. Assistance is a different thing than interfering.
Or even just comments.
Yeah.
Which is less helpful than interfering. Like, just a comment would be 100% worse than just...
Yeah, no, I know. Dude, okay, don't forget, man. You and I grew up in the same
I'm
dysfunctional soup. Yeah, we came out of the same trough.
You are my mother's brother.
Yeah,
I appreciate it very much.
You didn't know you moved into an assisted living facility when you moved up here with us. We thought it was implied. We're here to assist you in growing up.
I thought you meant the other way around.
Me too, Ryder. I totally thought he meant
that. It kind of is like that.
A little bit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Can you lift up this couch for me, Ryder?
We need you to move this shit.
My remote doesn't work.
No, but seriously, while I'm at home,
it's been dope to watch, and it's been really cool to see you figuring it out for yourself. Because, like, all we have to go on in life is our own experience. So, of course, I'm gonna see your shit through my lens.
Yeah,
it's just the way it goes, and I wish I would have figured the shit that you're figuring out now a long time ago. I wasn't even like self-aware enough at your age to know that I had a problem. If that sounds completely crazy or not. Like,
no, it's not. But I do also think it's definitely like a product of the times for sure.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more focus on like
mental health.
Yeah, figure your shit out.
Yeah.
You're fucked up. Guarantee you're fucked up in some way. Maybe figure out how and why.
Do you think that's because there's less time?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, for humanity? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that people feel a pressure to get their shit together because the clock is really ticking?
Running out.
I think it could be, but I also think it's like slowly getting like more and more addressed. Like, like your parents' generation did fuck all about it.
Yeah, there was no diagnoses for a lot of stuff. It was like, being fucking stupid. Shut up.
When you and I were kids?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you complained about something, there wasn't
Get
like,
the fuck out of the house. The lights are still on outside.
And then you guys grew up and realized that your parents fucked you up.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, well, let's try not to do that again. And then the people in between that generation watched that happen and watched you guys raise your kids the way you were. And it's just compiles and compiles.
Well, and also with YouTube and social media and the internet, and everybody's like living their lives out in front of everybody else all the time in a million different ways. So it's like you can be a complete dumpster fire of a human being and still be out there. We've seen it over and over again.
Yes. But a lot of people do.
But there is more pressure to have socially to have your shit together.
And there's a lot more connection.
And it's easier to admit that you have issues nowadays too. You didn't do that. That wasn't like, that wasn't, you weren't a man, or you weren't being a grown up or something.
Apple,
we were kids.
Can you imagine, like, in all seriousness, all joking aside, me coming to you when you were 19, 20 and I was 18, and I'd be like, dude, I have fucking social anxiety, man. I freak out every time I think about going somewhere, and it makes me want to use drugs.
Be like, well, okay, we'll use drugs and let's go do the thing.
Can you imagine?
Best way to do it is to go. Quit being a pussy.
Yep. That would have been it.
Yeah.
And now that there's so much more, it's so much easier to help yourself.
Nowadays,
and go on. Like if you taught like that, like Aaron was saying, it's like back then he could have just been like, well, I don't want, let me put this, let's Google this.
You're doing your thumbs. We didn't even do our
Look
thumbs.
at all these freaking answers here.
Yeah. Better help. Call this helpline.
I've always done that.
Or even just like, it's in the like zeitgeist. Like all of the like shows and everything are all about like mental health and how not to handle it is generally the idea, which isn't the most
like
helpful.
That Rob Lowe thing we were watching the other day, that Unstable. He's just all fucked up and putting it on his kid.
But yeah, no, it's like, it's just at the forefront. So, but I will also say I think about it pretty regularly. I've lost a good chunk of my 20s to it. Like a good early fun chunk of my, like I definitely could have just fucked off and partied for the first half of my 20s, but I was severe social anxiety and didn't know how to make friends and was kind of stuck in my own head. So the only option was to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Just like be paralyzed. Which you did
happen. Yeah. Like absolutely.
We didn't realize
happen.
it. Because when you went to quite a few shows with us.
Yeah.
We moved up here, the Gorge, several times and stuff, and then like later finding that out, it was like, really? Because you're having so much fun, but you don't know what's going on inside of somebody.
Fun, but like as soon as someone would talk to me, I would shut down, or like internally shut down.
Mm-hmm.
I would go on full
about.
autopilot, not have any control over what I was saying or how the conversation was going. Like there was no way to like actually connect with someone because it was just whatever was coming out of my mouth was not what I wanted to say. It was just autopilot.
Wow.
Can you talk about how Magnus helped
You got to explain to everybody out there what you're asking. Like
Magnus is a
Yeah.
family friend.
Yeah.
That, what was it, like 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
2 years
It was
ago.
during COVID.
Yeah.
During COVID, Sydney and I wanted to get a nutrition coach, and
Magnus was just starting out as a nutrition coach.
Yep.
And he's a family friend, and he was like, I'll do it for you guys for free.
so me and Sydney started doing it, and then the rest of the guys tagged along because they were like, oh, I want to do this too. But I was not going to be like, everybody, we need a nutrition coach. So I didn't even come to you right away.
You didn't, but you were like, I'm going to do a nutrition coach, and like, there's going to be different food in the house. And it was like it was like time for all of us to just like get our shit together.
Yeah, I was
There
doing
was enough
it.
bread and desserts at that point.
like
I didn't know what to do except for that. And really the reason why I reached out to Magnus was because of how much respect I have for him. And like, he wasn't like, that wasn't like, oh, I'm doing this like because I got a certification. That was his lifestyle.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And that's how
it's like us starting this podcast. We didn't do this to like make a bunch of money.
but also he's a really fucking smart guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, he's got a master's degree in
just so much
like,
respect for him.
And
Chemistry
and
and
his approach
doctor-
is
yeah.
not like a drill sergeant or something.
Yeah,
His
dude, he's
his
smart.
approach
Do it or
is
don't.
very, very good.
He teaches, like he's like, let me teach you what happens, and you can do with that information what you will. And he had a very different approach for all of us, like each and every one of us.
Yeah,
It was like hyper tailored. He knew exactly from the get-go. It was like, this isn't going to work for you, this isn't going to work for you, and this isn't going to work for you, so this is what we're going to have to do, like this. Like, it was so fucking good.
Yeah.
But he taught me how to eat. He taught me, accountability in a way, like for myself. Whenever it's easy for me to be accountable when other people are involved, but if it's just something for myself, it's so hard.
Yeah.
So
like if you feel like you're going to let somebody else down,
Yep.
then it's easy for you to do it. But if it's just you,
who the
not
fuck
so
am I
much.
letting down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, yourself.
Oh, I'm the most
That's-
important one.
that's-
You're the most important
Well, that
person
is
in the room.
establishing self-esteem right there.
Yeah.
On a base level.
Like, I am important and I need to show up for myself.
Yeah.
He taught me mostly that. Like, obviously, like, little things, like, taught me how to, like, build a workout schedule for myself, like a routine. He taught, most of my day now is because of the shit that Magnus has taught me.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, I only brought it up because I feel like that was
A
out of
turning
one of
point.
the 2 points that was such a
Absolutely.
huge
And if
it
this
was like a
sounds,
big boon.
if this
for you.
sounds wonderful to anybody, email the show and we'll give you Magnus's information.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
He's
Straight
a
up.
nutritional coach,
Life coach.
life coach,
Yeah.
and like one of the smartest, coolest people I've ever met.
I'm not going to personally, like, I don't even know how to put it, regular ass life coach. I would just be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, cool. Don't
Cool.
tell me what to
I
do.
Fucking look that up on the internet. Thanks, bro.
I also get really like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
Yeah, me too.
With everything. Don't fucking tell. I paid you to tell me what to do, but don't fucking tell me
Don't
what to
tell
do.
me what to do.
And then with Magnus, it was like,
you didn't want to let him down.
well, not even that. He like,
that was it
I
for
didn't.
me.
he like crawled in my ear and went, oh, I know how you tick. And then crawled back out and knew exactly how to talk to me.
Here's a personalized regimen.
Yep.
Well,
And
like-
he believes in everybody so much.
Yes, he does.
When he believes in you as much as he does, it makes you want to believe in yourself.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
he knows that
yeah.
it's all possible. Like, it's not as impossible as it feels if you're
Yes.
not in a great space physically.
Oh, God.
Like,
I remember
if-
when we started, dude.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
He's used to transformation and seeing it, so it's not unattainable for him. It's like you were saying about in the ear. He just knows, okay, this is how Aaron's emotional. That's what's going on with Aaron. Oh, okay, well, Mel, her shit's about like, needing motivation or stick-to-itiveness or whatever. Apple needs, like, he just knew.
It
What
started.
does Apple need, Mel? I'm just kidding.
Apple
Go
needed
ahead.
a different approach.
Yeah,
Period.
yes.
He needed a whole fucking different
I needed
approach.
to not hate
It
being
started.
healthy.
It started with track how much water you're drinking, and now I meal prep every week. I can do pull-ups. I've never in my life been able to do pull-ups. Never once. I've been affected.
Dude, when
my
you
whole
fucking
life.
started buying the maces and all
I
that
can
shit,
do-
it was amazing.
Yeah.
So listen, because I have a very unique view, because I live with all guys, and
Even the dogs that do.
even the dog.
That's
And
right.
up until Simon moved, there was 4 guys and then Darwin. And you can't get in between that. You can't be like, oh, guys, let's have a salad when everybody's fucking, 3 fucking rolls
You
deep.
still can do that. We eat healthy, and it's still hard.
No, it's yes. And so I knew that I couldn't have any sway. And so I knew I needed outside help. And me being an example was just for myself. There was no one's looking at me to try to mimic or do what I'm doing. And it wasn't like I'm doing the best either. Like
But also, it was intimidating.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when we were like super unhealthy, watching you be all healthy and do yoga and
She's
eat
like,
good.
I'm going to work. I have a avocado, 3 peppers, and a piece of rye bread.
It was like, fuck that.
Yeah, whatever. And these chia seeds, and that's all I need.
But so like but then you're seeing from the flip side, I'm seeing my fucking family being fucking unhealthy
Yeah.
and growing in size and in desperation emotionally. Like that's hard to see.
That's the American condition right now.
Yeah.
Well, fuck the American condition. I'm talking about our home.
I know, but this
In-
Chaplain
yeah.
microcosm,
condition.
microcosm.
In our home, it was really hard to see, and I needed exterior help. So Magnus, again, I was struggling with some stomach issues, and that's really why
Yeah,
I reached
I
out.
remember
That
you
was
having a
that was
hard
my nutritional reason for reaching out to Magnus, again, because I didn't want to just accept that. You know what I mean? Like I was like, fuck that.
You're just gonna deal with this.
Yeah. So like to see the turnaround that it made in you, because you're the one that still speaks to him every week.
Every week.
And even me and Sydney dropped off, the guys dropped off, and the transformation that has taken place and continues to take place is like, I'm still wowed about it. I'm kind of dumbfounded. Not like you couldn't do it. I'm just like, holy shit.
If you would
Look
have
at
asked me
that.
2 years ago, I would have said I couldn't do it. And I will be honest, like, I know that if for some reason me and Magnus stopped talking this week, I would still have all the things, and
Yeah,
I would still be fine.
I was gonna say it.
But a part of me is still scared to stop talking.
Well,
with
I'll
Magnus
tell you
every
what,
day.
Ryder. I haven't done the weekly check-ins with him for quite a while.
Over a year.
I still use
all the stuff. It's
all the stuff that he taught me.
it's permanent information
Yep.
that you'll never not have.
Yep, that
And it's
whole like
tailored,
80,
you know?
80-20 thing, and like all of it.
Yeah. I mean, and we've like, he's helped me, like I said, like a lot of the growth I've made has been because of the like, because we're able to talk every week about the progress that I've made from week to week or month to month. Like
Mhm.
it's not easy to make progress, but it is easy to forget that you've made progress.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryder.
Yeah, man.
Hell
It's
yeah. it
super
is.
easy to be like, oh, well, I did that last week and now I did that and I never have to do that again. It's really easy to do that, especially for me. I'll be like, you get like the dopamine hit of being like, I did
you're
it.
proud and
Fuck
whatever.
that. Never do it again. So it's been great.
Okay, so then on the contrary, what do you feel like the ritual did for you, in conjunction with that?
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
People are probably asking themselves or screaming at their headphones right now. Like,
So
what
a
ritual?
while
We
back,
did a blood sacrifice.
the goat
Goats
is
and
fine.
virgins.
The virgin, not so much.
Not so
no,
much.
a while back, we had a ritual here at our home, and it was a family ritual. We had a couple, no, not a couple, just one other member.
And one outside.
Yeah,
one member.
non-member, but also a member of our family. And it was...
Oh, I meant somebody else. Cody's part of the family.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, I forgot
the
about
one.
that other person. Yes. So there was 8 of us or something like that, 7 or 8 of us. And we,
So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
okay. So yeah, 7 of us. And it was a fucking powerful ritual that was tailor-made for our family.
You could say what it is. What Sam?
Well, yeah, it was San Pedro or whatever.
Yeah.
And each one of us had clearly a different experience.
Yeah.
Talk about tailor-made, like Magnus, tailor-made to, each person. This was definitely tailor-made to what was happening with each individual. And when Ryder, when it was Ryder's turn to receive the healing or just his turn
The
or whatever,
work.
Yeah.
the work,
I saw that shit happen.
it was from the outside.
It was crazy.
His literal countenance, his posture, he changed in front of us.
Like in a cartoon when like the character is kind of bent over and they're like dark circles under their eyes and they're skinny and then like they eat the magic fruit or whatever and then
Do you guys remember Fairly Odd Parents?
Yes.
The little boy, the King Arthur, where he gave his glasses? When he got his
I don't
glasses?
remember that
Oh,
one.
Never mind.
I
Then.
wish.
There's a couple millennials out there being like, "Oh yeah, I can see, I can fight."
he like
that's
eats the fruit or whatever, the cracker or whatever the fuck it is.
Kind of like Popeye.
And then
Popeye the spinach.
and he gets like 2 feet taller and he fills out and like his posture changes. I saw that
We
shit
all did.
happen literally in the moment. I was like, oh
There was
shit.
something that was removed or put on or both. There was something
it was
that
definitely
occurred.
an expulsion.
Yeah,
But
it was a
even
removal.
Well, I
even-
remember
puked
that.
it out.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't
we
puke.
all. I remember we all
Oh, no, you
jumped up.
did.
And we all jumped up and like embraced and cried.
Even
And
before,
it
like there was a lot that
amazing.
There was a lot
I
that.
I'm
like,
sorry, Aaron did not cry. He's-
Aaron didn't cry once.
Steel.
He just puked.
He's
a bunch.
perfect.
He has no
Bert-
emotion.
I grew up in my family, dude.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
We don't
Being a
cry.
punk writer.
And if you
Oh.
cry, you do it alone.
Yeah.
You don't talk
yeah,
about
that's
it.
what you do.
And all you say is, it's okay.
Yep.
It's okay.
When it's clearly not.
And you feel really uncomfortable. Oh shit! I shouldn't be seeing this. It's okay. It's
I gotta go now.
Yeah.
Oh,
We watched,
What, can you let him talk?
okay. I was just gonna say, like, not right before, like, what was it? 3 months before Todd died,
okay.
and like
Todd
it
is
was
their cousin.
COVID.
My uncle.
I lived with Todd for a couple years.
Oh, you did?
He
Yeah.
was like the first like consistent male presence in my life, straight up.
Oh.
And he died, and like I have a very strange relationship with death. It's hard for me to really like feel a way about it.
Because it's been such a
It's
thing.
just
in
a constant since
Yeah.
I was 2. Like I never grew up in a world without death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never will.
Never will. I never had to like learn about it. It was never something I was.
No,
had
it
to
was
be
like in
exposed
his
to.
face and
Yeah.
everybody was traumatized
You
by it.
learned
That's what he
by
knew.
having it at your doorstep.
yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So like I didn't deal with it. I pretty much ignored it. And I think when we were doing the tobacco ceremony, Jeff said something like, something happened a few months ago, and I was like, no, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Nope.
Literally no idea what you're talking about.
Bullshit.
I'm fine. I was like, I'm fine and everything's great. And when we sat down to do the actual ceremony, we like took the San Pedro, and not even 10 minutes later, we were just like sitting in there meditating. I think he had like some kind of ambiance music or something. And I just like head to toe felt warm and felt like someone was standing right behind me or was sitting against a wall. And I was like, oh shit. Hi, Todd. And I felt a hand on my shoulder. and I just like had this feeling of like, you're not responsible. I didn't feel responsible. Like, you're not. What's the best way to put this?
Like, it's okay to feel the way that you feel.
Yeah, you're not. It's not your fault for
You are
not
not
feeling.
neglectful.
Right. No, yeah,
or
it's okay to
anything.
feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, my whole life, I've had this whole like complex about not knowing Ari, my sister, that died when I was 2. And it was this whole like, you don't have to. You don't have like
Like a weight that you
yeah.
had
Like
to do
I
this.
also felt really bad that like his dad died alone in his house. I hadn't talked to him in years. I never got to tell him that he was the first
Consistent
Yeah.
presence in my a lot of things. It was like all of that's okay. None of that is your fault. You can feel however you want to feel about it. And it was just, like I said, from the get-go, immediately like a weight.
So yeah, I was gonna say a literal weight came off of you.
Yeah, before we even started
that's
the work.
a life lesson, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not talking about things that you did, right? Like, if you flatten somebody's tires or burn somebody or rip somebody off, okay, that's one thing. But in life, when there's things that happen that are outside of your control, you're allowed to feel the way you feel.
Yeah.
And there's no like
Right or wrong way about it.
It just is what it is. And all that is filtered through all of your shit.
Yep.
Your baggage and your good stuff and your traumas and your work and your boundaries and all that makes up how you feel about stuff. And that's your feelings are uniquely yours and you're allowed to have them and
Yep.
it's okay. And nobody tells us that.
No. In
No.
fact, we're told the opposite most of the time.
Feel
Like,
how I feel.
why do you feel that way? That's so weird.
It's okay.
Why are you not being like I want you to be?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't be sad.
Ugh.
Never be sad.
Sads.
As I say, it's gone through my mind a couple times. I'm going to interject it here because I remember one thing you did that you were so excited, and I don't blame you that it was cool when you came home with a new car.
Oh, yeah.
A new car to you, and you went and handled it all yourself and everything, and you were so happy, and
Yeah.
that was funny. That was almost like your
I was
first car. You're
so
like,
fucking
hey,
proud of
anybody
myself.
need me to go to the store? You want me to go somewhere?
That's so
Simon,
true.
you need a ride? Like you're like,
And
I'll
it
go.
was so
I'll
nice
drive.
and
Yeah.
smelled good and was clean and
I'm
beautiful.
still so fucking
Still
proud of
is
You
nice
should
and
be.
clean.
I know you barely drive it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, and then like it kept going. That was the cool thing about the ceremony was like you got to get whatever you got out of it, but you also got whatever everyone else got
Yep.
about like a little bit. Like a
Oh, yeah.
little, like
You all
it
felt
was-
each
it was-
other's
it
shit.
was
Yes, it was really great.
Yeah, no, I like
Magic is dope.
magic is dope. Like I got rid of like a lot of like you said, we have a pretty fucked up family and
Mhm.
they've all done their damage and I got to like that like
Shed some of
expulsion
it.
was definitely a lot of like you don't have power over me anymore. Like this I'm me and not
Tangled in
not
with your
tangled in
freaking
with whatever you're doing. And it was, I think you guys asked me about it a couple of days later. It was not even one person. It was multiple family members that I was like, I don't have this
It's
anymore.
liberating, man.
I can be your family, but I don't have this.
There's this thing, I keep seeing it in my head. There's this thing in magic where like when you're confronted with dark, like a dark spirit, let's say,
Mhm.
which a dark spirit can be negative thoughts. It can be, bad programming. It could be, you put your finger on your lips, like the shush gesture, and you do the motion down like that, and you say "Apo Pantos Cocodaimenos," and it means like "Get behind me, demon."
Mm.
And that's what that is.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
Yep.
Satan, get behind me. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what that is. That Satan, get behind me.
Yeah.
It's
And
Apo
Satan,
Pantos Cocodaimenos. That's
Yeah.
the Greek translation of that. But like, it's such a huge thing to have the power to tell something to shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And then tell it to get behind you. Like, and
for it to happen.
and yeah, like,
Yeah.
you got to mean that shit. Like, that's big. If you're gonna tell something to shut the fuck up, and then get behind you,
Actually, get it behind you.
Especially when
yeah.
something's been with you.
and it's literally
Your whole
behind
life.
you after that.
Mhm.
Like, and think about what that means. Like, if I say I have your back, I'm behind you, right? I have your back. Those things that you've healed in yourself, or you've allowed to come out and told to shut the fuck up and get behind you, are your superpower afterward. They're the things that have your back. Those are the things that, like,
You learned your lessons from.
Well, they're your connection points to the world after that, because now you know what was broken, right?
Yeah.
And then you know how to interface with the world in that part of yourself. Now it's like a little plug.
And that, I think since then, that's been a lot of the like learning time. Cause that is what helped me be able to put up, like literally getting rid of that specific baggage is what helped me be able to start putting up like boundaries.
Thanks, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Seriously,
Yeah.
like for freeing you from the shackles of family shackles.
Yeah.
Like he helped you get rid of like shit that's been going on for generations. This is not just like, oh, you or Aaron. Like this is like a thing that's in your family that he came in and was like, you don't gotta handle that anymore, dude.
Yeah.
You're your own dude. You're your own person. And look where you're at.
Yeah.
Like you specifically created your own reality. The whole, like the Cavarettas and all that, and your dad's side, like that's not behind you, but that's you took yourself out of that and put yourself in a brand new space, like to create. Now this is Ryder's story.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. It's a brand new story.
Yep.
You're not living in somebody else's movie anymore. You're making your own.
And that's huge to like just location wise, just getting away. That's a huge step. Like,
well, and it's a family full of like main characters.
oh yeah. Fuck yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Try and be your own fucking story. You just try. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now you know why I get.
Too many cooks.
no, man, like it's like coming from my family. You had to fucking speak up if you wanted to get heard. And even if you did speak up, you still weren't guaranteed to get heard.
And you probably get shit for speaking up.
Oh yeah. Shut up. And it's still not going to go your way. And what did you say?
Yeah, why are you being so loud and interrupting? Because that's what we do.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I think that you're better for it in a lot of ways because, you know, it forces you to find out who you are.
Or not.
No.
I mean-
100%. I don't agree because I very easily could have
But you didn't.
kept.
That's
no,
what I'm
I
saying.
didn't. It was a Herculean effort.
Samesies.
It was not a thing that had to happen. It was a thing that was inevitably going to happen because of who I am.
That's where I'm coming from about
Yes,
it. That's
but
where
it's
I'm
not-
coming from.
it
Not like
was-
just generally. But
I only mean that in like I'm after it now. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely a reality in which I just kept my fucking head down.
Mine almost ended in a desert and
But it didn't.
in an abandoned building. Like
When your story's not done, it's not done.
Well,
period.
Yes.
It like
But
death is the only ending of the story.
100%. But
Especially
it
you're
is
trying to
also
wrap
like
that shit up, like trying to wrap it up. My stories, I know it's not.
No, it ain't.
it
I know where you're coming
yes,
from, Ryder.
I agree with you in a sense, but I also
I just have been around the family long enough to see that's to see that, like, whether it doesn't need to be agreed upon, it's still like that's what it is. Like you think that's the way that you guys grew up. It was very a certain kind of a way.
I even mean post getting away. Like the last couple years could have absolutely gone another way, where I just kept living,
However,
being a people pleaser, just trying to be whoever the literal physically closest person next to me who I think they want me to be. I could have spent my whole life doing that, and I was really fucking good at it, and no one would have ever known.
you would have known though.
I would have known.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to think
And
that
then
played a good role in that thing, because you never agree with me. You never do what I want to do. You're all
That was also
I was your sample.
Yeah.
I was like your dummy you practice on.
I did it with both of you,
Shut
but also
up.
that was like that was how I learned how to show affection.
Yeah,
Just how
I mean-
fucked up that sounds.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
totally get that. Yeah,
Like-
make it a joke.
Arguing is
most of the
affection.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally,
100%.
100%.
Yeah, that face that Mel just made. Exactly.
Well, let's say I was gonna bring something up too, because I mentioned this to you, but like me and you, when we first moved up here, our plan was to drink everything in the Pacific Northwest. We did a pretty good job.
You guys,
at
yeah, you guys
drinking
did
a lot.
put a
nice
dent
dent.
in, yeah.
But
pretty
then,
good dent.
like I would have found. I mean, same thing. Like Mel, I eventually would have had to deal with it and stuff, but it really helped to have you as a drinking buddy. And then we both kind of on the same timeline, like started getting sick of drinking and rarely do anymore.
Yeah.
And when we do, we compare notes. It's like even when we don't do it together as much, but when we do the next day, it's like, can I tell you something, dude?
Also-
I feel like a fucking idiot because
Yeah.
I forgot how bad that makes me feel.
Well, and also it does help that I was talking to Aaron about this the other day. I'm getting in my late 20s now, which is wild. And I apparently
I think you're there.
I apparently get hangovers now, which the amount of alcohol I
Brand
have to
new
drink.
thing.
Yeah, the amount of alcohol I would have to drink to get a hangover was irresponsible. I would occasionally get headaches, but I think what was it, last week? I don't know. I went out drinking.
No, it was during the day. You went to that thing at work.
I went to this thing at work, and I went and afterwards
It was cute.
We went to it was actually really fun. We did like a volunteer thing where we helped this old lady spread bark dust in her backyard. And there's like 10 of us, and we're like, let's go to the bar. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go to the bar. I have some.
It's noon.
Yeah, it wasn't even noon yet. We had leftover time before noon, so we were like, let's go to the bar. And we had breakfast, we took a shot, had a couple ciders, and I was like, fuck yeah. And I felt great. And I came home, I was like, that was so much fun. And then took a nap and woke up and felt like absolute human shit. I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never felt like this before. Yeah. Like, oh shit, this is what getting
Ryder
older
was sitting in the kitchen and he looked like hammered shit. And he just looked at me. He goes, you know, I can't drink anymore.
I think
I'm getting older.
I think my exact words were, man, getting older sucks.
Yeah. And I just looked at him and I went,
You know, you laughed very hard.
yeah, man. I feel
Same
ya.
thing. Good thing realizing it now and everything, man. It's. You mentioned several things that I've just recently in the last couple of years realized. Like I was wearing clothes that were way too big for me because I was used to being fatter and the drinking thing. You're realizing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I definitely realized I was a bit of an enabler because I didn't get hangovers. If I got hangovers this whole time, I would not have drank as much as I did.
No, when you said that, yeah, I would never say, when you were just saying that, I didn't want to chime in and be like, I'm happy you can have, but it's like I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
You used to be like, you're hungover from that? We only had 14 vodka tonics last night. Or
I can still drink vodka tonics.
But you would be fine. And I would be like, oh my God. Why was I trying to keep up with him last night?
Apple's trying to
20s,
keep up
man.
with a 25-year-old.
Uh-huh.
I
you
just
did a
want to
pretty
say
fucking good
it's
job.
really
Yeah,
good to
I
see you
did.
guys
That's the
on
problem.
the upside of getting better and being. not that it was bad or good, just like
It was bad.
there's a time for this and then there's a time for this. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice to see this season coming.
And it was bad, like we talked about. Our
Categorically.
drinking got between us.
I'll leave that to somebody else to say.
No, I'll say we've talked about it before. It's like, and I don't blame you now. Back then, me and Ryder were like, whatever, fuck them. They don't want to hang out with us.
They don't want to watch us get completely fucking plastered.
Yeah, and not pay attention to when they're trying to tell us stuff. And we realize now it's like
every weekend.
Thursday and Friday night.
And Friday, and I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
The ritual was like Thursday, Apple comes pulling up.
Mini Friday.
Gets out of his car, goes in the back seat, gets the brown paper bag. There's beer in there. It's Mini Friday. Then he would sit on the porch and listen to grunge.
Prepping for Friday.
Drinking. Yeah. And I would be like annoyed, go to bed. Next day, Friday, come home from work, Apple get out of his car, paper bag out of the bag. It's Friday.
Uh-huh.
And now it's officially Friday. And then I'd sit out there and get drunk and I'd listen to
whatever.
We would listen to
I would usually listen to whatever we were going to be interviewing that weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then I'd wake up in the morning and I didn't retain 75, 80% of it.
And you'd feel like shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like, oh, I got like drunk going, oh, I got that. I know the name of all these. And then wake up in the morning and be like, I can't remember the name of a single song. What were those cool lyrics last night?
I recently had an epiphany moment in the house since Apple's surgery, actually, of like Mel and I are like drinking smoothies every morning and athletic greens and taking vitamins, and Apple's eating oatmeal with peanut butter and salads, and like
Mel's dancing,
going to the gym 4 days a week, and like we're having all this like good
Remember what I said to you?
No.
I was like, why can't being healthy be our thing together? I can't wait for that thing to be a thing.
There you go.
Well, do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like a while back. It was like over a year ago. And I was like, I can't wait for that to happen, because that's the only thing that we haven't done together.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Here we are.
We're doing it. We are there. I'm like, I looked at like the bank statement. I'm like, Jesus, we spent like X amount of dollars on like vitamins and shit.
That is the thing. It is fucking expensive.
What the fuck else is there to spend money on?
No, hey, babe.
I literally thought that today. I was at lunch and I had my little vitamin packet and my extra vitamin that I take on top of that. And then I had my chews and I had my yogurt parfait. And then I had my, sandwich, whatever. And like my neighbor looks over at me and she's like, oh, what's that? And I was like telling her. And in my head, like immediately I thought, these fucking vitamins are so expensive. And then it started in the morning. I was like putting all the stuff that I put in the smoothies, and I'm like, this is fucking $45. This is like 30. This is 17. This is like, and I was like, dude, that's where most of our money goes. That's how it should be. You should be spending most of your money on your health.
Yeah.
Period.
Think about this. When you're sick, everything sucks. You can't do anything.
Mm-mm.
But when you're feeling good,
you can do anything.
You take for granted that you feel good.
Not everybody. Not everybody takes for granted. I'm just saying, like,
on a certain level, pretty much everyone does.
If you've worked hard for it, you know that's where I'm coming from.
And when it's taken away from you, though, when you've been feeling good, and then it's like you get in a car accident, or you break your arm,
get diagnosed with some crazy shit.
Then you realize how important that shit is. Like,
there does have to be some kind of like catalyst.
That's what I had to have half my butthole removed to realize that I need to change my lifestyle.
Yeah,
sometimes that's what it takes.
It's different for all of us. I was standing out there just before we did this, before you guys came down, and I was like, how do I say this? Like, the feeling of feeling good, like I can feel the energy in my body, like vibrating. And that's new for me. Like, oh shit. And I was like, this is what it fucking feels like to feel good. And I was like, ooh, I wonder if you could like do more. Like
You can always feel better.
what if you could like make this
I
more
felt better than
and
this.
yeah, and like how my whole life I've never felt like that. I was sick, like legit.
You
I
were
had a
sick in
disease.
body, but you were also sick in mind.
Yeah, but like I had a disease in my body at
Yeah.
one point
Yeah.
and was fucking me up, and then like my mental shit and
When you had, I didn't realize that. I don't, like knowing you your whole life, I didn't realize what eating issues you had until we started this stuff with Magnus. Neither did you, really.
yeah, I did. I knew.
Well, you addressed it more. It
Yeah,
came,
oh, yeah.
It came to the
I started
forefront.
working on
Well,
it.
it's
and you had
really
to
easy
deal
to
with
hide
it.
your not even insecurities, but like your habits from people. Like it's just like your norm, but that's your default.
Especially
you know?
like if you're like ashamed of the way you eat, it's super easy to hide that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's super easy. I still get the urge to be like, I could just buy a pack of Oreos and leave them in my room. No one will ever know.
Just eat them all on the way home and just throw the shit out the
Yep.
window. No one will know.
I was brought up taught that like if your body isn't perfect to where people are looking at you on stage and think you're awesome,
Yep.
then you're less than and you're fucked up and you need to fix it.
Yep. And
Like-
that's still a deep scar through our entire family.
Well, I mean,
like if you
yeah.
can't get
Well,
on
that's it.
stage with
That-
your
that-
shirt off and have every man and woman in the crowd going, ooh.
well, that
then
that
you're
crosses
a
over
piece of
both
shit.
of our families. You
You're a
know,
piece
like
of shit,
I
yep.
we dealt with it differently.
And what can we do to fix it? That
Mhm.
was like, and
like an issue.
I was on, they had me on
HGC or
whatever the
HGH,
hormone.
human growth.
It wasn't human
Oh.
growth hormone. It was whatever the hormone that pregnant women get when they're pregnant.
HGC.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Some shit.
They like it was basically made like
That can't be good.
switched my body into some kind of like ketosis that if I couldn't eat any carbs whatsoever, but I lost like 30-40 pounds in like 3 weeks. It was fucking insane. And then
Unhealthy.
immediately gained it all back.
Yeah.
Like just
What a
the
nightmare for a
wildest,
kid.
craziest shit.
Yeah, I told you, my mom like was back in the late 80s and the Beverly Hills diet was a thing. And the Beverly Hills diet was like you only ate fruit. So like papaya, pineapple, mango. That was it. And like we did it for so long that we all had sores in our mouth from
The
too much acid.
Mm-hmm.
And like I passed out at school from it. Like, yeah, it was gnarly. And yeah, Apple, you're right. Like that shit was deep seated and I never really thought to even work on it until we started dealing with Magnus. I'm still like untangling that knot at this point. Like the stage that I'm at now is like, I'm realizing that it's okay. Which is weird. Like I've learned to give myself grace
Don't hate yourself
at this point. Like today's a perfect example. Like my goal is to run 4 to 5 days a week. Right. And today is only the second day of the week. And when I got home, I had to make the dogs food and I was still at work. And so I didn't have time to work out. And that would have in the past made me like go into a tailspin of like feeling like shit about myself. And then I would have ate something shitty for dinner as like a punishment to myself.
Derail.
Do you
And just like,
understand?
fuck
yeah,
it,
but
I'm
it's
just gonna-
and it's not it. I get exactly what you're saying, but it's also not even as a punishment either. It's to fill that like I need to feel good in some way.
Yeah.
And I didn't do the things that I normally do to make myself feel good. And I need a snack. I need a sweet or some piece of shit food
Yep.
to make myself
But
feel good.
Feel that
But
whole.
instead
It's like
of
the double-edged sword
Yeah.
because it's doing both.
Yep.
Making you feel good and
And
shitty.
it's comforting.
Mhm.
It's-
And then that's a fucking spiral.
and so
Well, yeah, because now you're like associating feeling good with being bad.
Yep.
Too.
Yep.
And you're feeling bad while you're feeling good, so
Reward
you have
myself.
to feel that
Yeah.
more. It's so
reward
bad.
yourself with shit for feeling like shit,
and then
And
feel
then you feel like shit.
because you reward yourself.
You
with
feel
shit.
more
It's
shitty.
So fucked up.
I'm
bad.
sorry, you guys.
And then-
That's so sad.
But like today,
I'm just, yeah.
So
that's
today,
sad.
the difference is, I just was like, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's fine. Eat your fucking lunch. Eat your salad. Your sandwich. Chill out. Go down. Record with everybody. It's fine. Work out tomorrow.
Yeah.
That sounds so simple for people out there. They're like, duh.
Duh.
No, man. Getting there has been a journey of 1,000 steps.
No, I think that we're all aware, and even people listening, how mentally fucked we all are.
Yeah.
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 We
Yeah.
all can work ourselves into the biggest dungeon we ever have, and and with no scruples. We can be so hard on ourselves, but then you turn around, and if I shared that with you, you'd be like, it's all good, Mel. Like, come, let's go for a walk then, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be sweet. And we all do that to ourselves in many different ways, with food, with relationships, with our work. And it's a big deal to even be able to freaking talk about it.
Yeah. And,
You know?
and the flip side of that is I'm also learning when to put the screws to myself.
That's the thing I
like-
have.
We
trouble
call that
with.
being Harvey.
Like driving home and being like, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm not going to run today. And then being like, no, you know what? Doesn't matter. You're going to go
You'll sleep
run.
good
You're
after
gonna
you
sleep.
run.
Exactly. You're going to feel great after you run, and you're going to sleep great tonight. Get on there and do it. Yesterday, when I was getting ready to run, I went to Ryder. I was like, today's one of those days when I just really do not feel like doing this. Like, everything in me is screaming, let's just take the day off. And like, no, fuck that.
I do also think like one of the things that I've gone over with Magnus is like deload weeks are a fucking necessity.
Ryder said,
What-
Yeah, he said this to me yesterday.
Deload?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm taking a recovery week. And I was like,
It's a deload.
what?
Yep.
What? You could do that?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. But then what I said to you yesterday was, for me,
Yeah.
here's the bummer of that from my head is like, if I do that, in the past, it has been difficult for me to get back on track.
It's still hard every time.
And like, I have this like internal anxiety about like, I can't stop for that long,
Yep.
or the whole cycle is going to fucking start over again. And I can't start from zero again.
Well, and also like a deload week doesn't have, that's what it's called. It doesn't have to be like, I don't do anything for a week. It can just be like, I run for 10 minutes. I do this for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the reason I that's one thing that I'm super grateful for Magnus that I've learned. Listen to your fucking body. Like I did that volunteer thing, was shoveling bark dust for an hour and a half. Didn't fuck myself up, but was like extremely sore. Yeah. And I woke up the next morning and was like, I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to go to the gym. If I go to the gym, if I do, I'll just do cardio, but I can do that on the rowing machine and be just fine. I don't need to go to the gym.
Dude,
to do
and
that.
that's like,
that's called grace.
yeah, I would
That's
go
smart.
run, and my leg was so fucked up that I was limp running, and like wouldn't let myself stop.
Yeah, one issue that I don't have that you do is I don't punish myself actively. I will punish myself by not doing things. I will sequester myself away if I need to punish
Like your
myself.
timeout
Yeah.
more.
But I will
Going
not
solo.
do things actively to punish
No,
myself.
I'm like, oh, leg hurts, too bad. Let's go.
That's what my dad always did.
And that's just as unhealthy as the other
Oh
side.
yeah, that's why I
That-
was saying
that
it's
was
a big
my-
deal to
Yeah.
have grace.
When we started talking to Magnus, that's what and I'm still dealing with that because I ain't exercising and doing everything I should be. I'm working towards
you
that.
actually walked on
But
the
I
treadmill.
really I realized through talking with Magnus, and you guys were there for part of it, my adversity to it was because my dad was 110% gung ho. Like I remember as a kid, he had to get new running shoes all the time because his shoes would be bloody, blisters on his feet, and like he had that no pain, no gain attitude like that. It's like, nope, I'm running again tomorrow. I'm going to bandage it up and everything.
Yeah, there's psychosis on both sides of that fence.
He destroyed his legs, his feet, and his knees doing that. And on the other side was my mom and sister, who I watched their whole lives being heavy. Every fad diet that came out, which was, I mean, it's still horrible, but back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah, with those pills.
All the taking pills, and then it was the liquid diet. You know, you get this, all you got to do is drink this stuff. My sister got so hooked on laxatives, she ended up in the hospital because of gastro problems because she was eating like X-Lax chocolate bars every day to try to lose weight and stuff. So like too extreme. It was like, oh my God, dieting is for idiots. Exercising is for idiot. You know, not idiot, but that is so extreme. I'm not doing any of those things. See, and it's like, well, wait, so you're going to punish yourself and not be healthy because your family went about it the wrong way.
So the way that I was raised was mom was a secret bulimic, but you can't really be bulimic secretly because you can smell it.
Yeah.
And hear it. But my mom got really good at being quiet. So that was, you couldn't really hear it. It's almost like me with me in the cup. And then she also detested exercise. She would not, like, she even wrote me a note for PE that was like, I did not have to go to PE because she just hated. So she wasn't eating healthy. She was bulimic and she didn't exercise.
So then how'd you turn out so
Because I did everything the opposite of what she did.
Oh.
So there's more than one ways to do things.
By being
I
healthy.
did. It was like kind of like what Sydney did. You know, we didn't have so much structure, but so she got really good grades because we didn't expect it. And so with my mom, I was just like, and I wasn't like good with it. I just was like, I knew that I had to not be heavy. That was like my only goal because that.
You don't have the gene.
Well, I thankfully didn't have the gene, but in my family, yeah, it does run. Like my aunts are heavier and like, you know, it's
yeah, but you're the kind of person that can eat like sweets all day
yeah,
long.
But with me, it's less about weight and it's more about how it makes me feel. It makes me sick. Literally, I get sick from it. So that's how I did it. I like literally had to listen to my body.
Didn't let you.
I couldn't ignore my body, you know, and I had zero examples around me.
I think what all of this like entire conversation circles back to is that there's a way out of our psychosis or whatever programming we have when we're young.
Yeah.
And there's no timeline.
Yeah.
For when you're going to figure it out. Like, if you didn't figure it out by X year, then you're fucked.
And
like,
I think
that's not true. I'm 51 years old.
Yeah, that's where you're set up for failure.
And we're still figuring it out, though. You can still figure some stuff out and still be figuring out more.
And you can have a day where you fail.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily fail, but like Aaron was a day where you don't do what you expected of yourself and don't punish yourself.
Exactly.
You just get back. And Magnus was very good at that. It'd be like, oh, you know what? He's like, hey man, I go out and have pizza and shots with the guys every once in a while. I pay for it and I could do better about it, but you got to enjoy life also. You can't just be a militant Nazi on yourself with being healthy. And that's what I watched my mom and sister and dad do on opposite extremes.
Yeah, man.
Like punishing yourself.
Everything has changed here at the house as far as like since your surgery.
Yeah,
another level up.
Like, even for Darwin, like the changing of his food, and he's lost weight and cutting back on snacks. I mean,
and I would watch you guys
but
over-treat Darwin, and he was suffering with the weight, and I couldn't even like, what the fucking stop giving him treats, guys. And you're like, here you go, Darwin, here you go. And I'm like, what the fuck is it gonna take? Like,
I never did that.
No,
that is the
Ryder, that was not on you. Ryder, that me and you are the same way with treats with Darwin.
When the cops come to arrest us, they're taking me and
what were you gonna say, Ryder?
Oh, I was just gonna say, when it comes to the lessons, there's no time period when you have to figure your shit out. But also, once you do figure it out, you gotta keep figuring out that same shit. Like, it just because you figured it out once, just because you figured it out once doesn't mean it's gone. It's like
I won.
Like a friend come visit last year, and she said some similar things like, I'm doing very well. She was proud, and she hasn't been doing super great. And I had to it's a constant conscious effort to be okay, which sucks. Like, that sucks so fucking bad. It really is.
But some days it's easier than others.
Some days it's easier than others, but
the average is it's constant.
Yes, but the average is it's a constant conscious effort. And I'm glad I've learned that lesson, that's okay. Like, it's okay.
That's a huge lesson.
Yeah, like, it's okay to know that it's going to take effort.
The rest of your life literally takes effort to live.
Yeah.
And if you want to live it good, think about like if you had a fucking booming business. You do one thing and then that's it. Oh, your business is good forever.
Today. Yep, all set.
No, you always have to show up to your booming business to keep it booming.
Rent every month.
Yep, exactly.
Not just once.
You brush your teeth once and I'm done. No more.
Well,
I wiped my butt once. I don't know how to do it again.
Look what happened, Apple.
Oh, yuck butt over there. Oh.
Dang. Well, thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
And
thank you for
having this
me.
awesome freaking really helpful conversation. I know
have an open door policy.
I feel like I learned a lot from listening to this from you,
I
you know,
hope you
because
did
we
too
see each
out
other
there.
every day, but like, you know, we're not always talking about super deep shit.
No.
I mean, it is not exempt from us. We talk about deep stuff, but like,
Usually our day-to-day is a normal day.
yeah. So
Hey,
that's
Ryder, how's it
rad.
going? Good.
And
See you later.
it
Bye.
was super fun. It was funny on New Year's. That was the first time in quite a while you'd gone to a show with us.
Since
pre-COVID,
2020,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, going to the New Year's show. And I remember on New Year, you're like, you were kind of like looking for an exit plan. I don't know if you remember that earlier, and you're like, I was like,
I don't know how
all
I
right,
feel.
dude, but just let me tell you, I was like, we're really, no pressure, but we're gonna hate you if you don't go.
Yeah.
No, it was like we're really looking.
I wasn't
forward to you
looking for
going,
an exit
and it's
plan, but
New
I was
Year's.
anxious about. Like I was anxious about it because
and you went with us.
also,
and
like,
it was so fun.
not
to
for
have you
nothing.
along.
I do have pretty fucked up social. That's been another thing the last couple of years of realizing. Like, I do have pretty fucked up social anxiety.
How's the microdosing helping?
Oh, it's so fucking good. It's so nice. It's so nice.
Wow.
It's so good. It's like, I mean, it does what it says on the tin. Like, you, for one, like, it's sometimes I'll do a little bit of a, not a macro dose, but like a little bit more, and that's always fun. But like it really does help. Like, when you say rewire your brain, a lot of people will like think like, oh, I'm gonna take this and everything's gonna be perfect. But that effort that I was talking about before.
Still got to do the work.
You still got to do the work,
Yeah.
but the work's a little easier.
Doesn't suck quite as much.
No, like instead of
I'm sure you're more
lifting
open to
a
it.
20-pound weight, you're lifting a 10-pound weight. Like, it's
Hey man, 50% is a lot.
That is a
50%
lot.
is a lot.
That's
Like,
a good amount.
And
Better living.
I'll take
through
$50
chemistry.
instead of no dollars.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had zero. Now I got something.
You know, you hear all the like they microdosed LSD in Silicon Valley, and it's the new hip thing, and like you read the Wired magazine article or the New York Times, and people think whatever they think, but the reality of it is you still have to do the work.
you still have to
Yeah.
do it.
and
It's
the
not.
work is a little easier,
Mhm.
and it doesn't sting quite as much.
Yep.
And that's
And kudos
it.
to you for knowing to do that for yourself. You know,
I've been wanting to do that for a very long time. It was just one. I also don't think it would have the impact that that all came fucked up. It wouldn't have had the same impact a couple of years ago. That it
Yeah.
did now.
Well, yeah,
You had to get
that's-
to the space.
Yeah.
that stuff comes when it's time.
You can't take a shower with your clothes on because you
Nope.
won't get clean.
Mm-mm.
You got to do. There's steps. You have steps to do, and you've done the appropriate steps.
Yeah,
and you're still doing them.
I've got my tool bag isn't full, but it's a hell of a lot more.
Way to
full
go
than it
showering
used to
naked
be.
with your tool.
Yes,
bag,
he
Ryder.
finally.
Now my tools are
Thank you,
clean.
Mel. Thank you, Mel. He finally quit showering with his clothes on. He was like, "I'm trying to save time.
You
I don't want
guys-
to do laundry
Ryder,
and
get your
bathe."
tools out of the shower.
You guys have been telling me for the last couple of years that I stink and really need to shower naked, and I was like, that sounds uncomfortable. So, but I'm glad I do it now.
Well done, sir.
Would you say it's no simple road, Ryder?
Yeah, I would.
On that note,
Yay! I love it. Yeah.
She said the thing.
Oh, gosh.
All right, everybody. We will be back on Friday with another episode. And Ryder, thanks, man. I love you.
Love you,
You're
man.
the best
Love
nephew
you.
in the whole wide
Aren't
world.
you
Yeah,
guys?
you really are.
You guys are gonna.
Where are we right now?
You guys are gonna be
hang on,
in.
I'm thinking.
In at Skull and Roses if they're not if they're listening to it a couple days late.
Yeah, well, this is Skull and Roses
This
week.
comes out on the 17th,
Yeah,
right?
we're leaving day after tomorrow for Skull and Roses.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-whoop.
Yeah, when you're hearing this, we will have just returned from Fish
So
in Seattle.
it's not
and
too
getting
late.
ready to head out of town.
It's not too late to join us in
Yeah.
sunny Ventura, California, April 19th through the 23rd for Skull and Roses with guests like Latin Dead, Boombox,
Phil Lesh and friends.
Brown-eyed women.
Yeah,
Dark Star Orchestra.
Jerry's
So
middle finger.
come hang out with
I
us
don't
on the
know
beach.
anyone.
Okay.
Cubensis.
That's
yeah,
all.
I'm not gonna be there, so you guys have to come and be there for me.
Okay.
There we go.
will.
All right.
No, not you guys. You guys are
Everybody,
gonna be anyways. The people
everybody
that live out
listening,
there.
you got to come be there for Ryder.
Yes.
Okay. We love you guys. We will be back next week. Until then, smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate.
Love one another.
And you know what?
Be kind to your furry friends.
Shower naked.
Shower naked.
Yeah. Don't shower with your clothes on. You're not saving time on laundry.
You can if you want. Then you got to have 2 kinds of soap in there, and it's a whole.
It's just
thing.
weird.
Yeah. Put some effort into yourself this week.
Ooh.
See you guys. Peace.
Have a salad.
Like twist and turn, the mission turn, and it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Felony just been deferred, and hell of me has been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? Still, one simple road. My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A=A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hey, what's up? This is Blake Weiland. I'm the host of the Tone Mob Podcast. It's a show where I interview guitar people about guitar stuff. We talk about their pedals, their amps, their accessories, their preferences, all that stuff, as well as a healthy dose of whatever comes up. Topics have ranged from aliens to addiction and anywhere in between. Oh yeah, and pizza. We're definitely going to be talking about pizza. So get the show wherever you're listening to this podcast at. Just search The Tone Mob in your search bar and it will pop right up. Come join us. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks for checking it out.